First impressions when I put them on in the house was wow. I was thinking I wish I had these when I was 16 years old because that extra inch, or it feels like 2 inches, that the stack has given me would maybe have given me more luck when I was going around chasing girls at the age of 16, 17. Not literally, obviously. When I was clumsily trying to speak to girls, I guess. That extra inch or 2 would have given me a bit more confidence. Believe it or not, I wasn't the tallest guy in the room. So yeah, and when I was trying to get into nightclubs and stuff, maybe these would have been the answer. To give you an idea, the stack is midsole 38mm, heel 42mm. So not only does that make it an 8mm drop, which is the biggest drop in a shoe that I've had, it also makes it illegal for racing. So yeah, I think the legal limit for racing is 40mm. This is 42mm, so they've got an extra 2mm of stackage in there. So it is essentially meant for training purposes. Now, if you turned up to your local 10k half marathon or marathon, you're not going to get disqualified wearing these. Don't panic if you've bought them. Surprisingly feel comfortable. I say surprisingly because for me, old school runner, having such a high stack, having 300 grams on my feet doesn't appeal to me, okay? But they feel comfortable, especially when I break out into like an easy jog. So walking, yes, you know you've got a pair of shoes on, whereas even at this very low kind of recovery running effort, all of a sudden the technology in the shoe kind of comes alive a little bit more, and I can feel that it is a running shoe. What I mean by that is it's designed to keep you running, right? I don't think it's necessarily designed for speed. I don't think it's necessarily designed for a fast 5k. Maybe it is there for like general running miles, especially if you're in that category of anything from over 3 hours up to 5-hour marathon. I think it's designed as a training shoe. So it might cover a wide range of sessions for a lot of people. It might not be the best shoe if you're training for a 2.5 hour marathon or a sub 35-minute 10k. But for the vast majority of you out there that are training for their first marathon or 4-hour marathon or any of that kind of effort where you want to put the mileage in, but you don't want to feel like you have to run fast every single session, might be a good option. But we'll see where we're at, because if you're putting yourself in that bracket, then that shoe has to be durable, I think. And we're not going to know if it's durable off 1 run or 2 runs or even 10 runs probably. You have to put the mileage in and maybe sort out other reviews that have put in 100+ miles on the shoe, see what it's like then. I'm going to turn this corner and it's going to get a little bit more windy, so I'm going to run in them for 15-20 minutes and then give you some more feedback. Right then, we're 20 minutes in, so I'll give you a quick update and then one at the end. We're only running down these lanes, rolling, very easy run. We'll be doing about 45-50 minutes in total, so yeah, good for a first impression run, but nothing too deep, I imagine. And talking about deep, see that link there? Talking about deep, I can definitely feel that the shoe, I mean, I might be overthinking this, but it feels like the shoe slightly adapts to the pace in which you run to a certain extent. So if I'm walking, and I've had the Alpha Flies and Vapor Flies and other versions on my feet and gone for runs, it's just that I've not owned them yet, so I know what they feel like. You don't feel off balance at any time, and that's probably due to the fact that they're a lot wider. You're on a much wider, I said much wider, I'd have to check, but it's definitely a wider platform. You haven't got that feeling of when you've just suddenly stuck ice skates on for the first time and you're walking like you've shit yourself over to the ice rink. You can walk normally in them, and that's due to the wider platform, definitely. Then as you start to run, they feel a little bit stiff, and granted they're straight out the box, but they do feel a little bit stiff in the sole. Maybe that's what these carbon shoes feel a lot more like these days, but definitely feel a bit of stiffness as you pick up the pace just to easy running, not tempo or fast or anything like that, just your easy running pace or my easy running pace. They definitely felt better. Okay, I tend to land around the midfoot, roll, little bit of roll. Rarely will I hit heel first, but yeah, that's just due to pacing and stuff like this. My foot will land lots of different ways through a run, and it definitely feels like it adapts a little bit better to that easy, moderate level of running. So for reference, I'm 5'8", well, about 6 foot at the moment, but without these shoes on, I'm 5'8" and weigh usually 9 stone and change, so 3 or 4 pounds. Okay, so I'm not the tallest and I'm not the heaviest. These kind of shoes, a bit like when I'm talking to trail and mountain runners with the Hokers or bigger shoes in the hills and things like that. If you are slightly taller, if you are slightly heavier, and that's not to say that you're unfit or unhealthy, just heavier than me at 9 stone and a bit, then you might not notice the weight as much. But if I put 300 grams on the end of my legs, on my feet, I definitely notice it. And if I'm doing strides where I've got that knee lift, where I've got that heel lift, I feel it at the moment. So maybe I have to get into the shoe a little bit more. I'll do 6 sets of strides at the end of this run, give you another update on that, just about how it feels, not really how it performs, because again, I'm only going out for 50 minutes. It's got 2 layers in that midsole with different material, different compounds. Okay, I don't know what they're called. It'll be below in the description, because each company calls them different to differentiate themselves, and it is a different compound. But yeah, this one's got 2 layers with the carbon plate fitted in between. So that's probably part of the reason why I'm feeling it differently at different paces. Again, at the moment it's not a plus or a minus for me, it's just different. So I'm going to run on a little bit more and then hopefully speak to you a little bit more, as long as this wind doesn't pick up, because yeah, I don't have the fluffy badger on me today. So that's it, session over in my Saucony Kinvara Pros, and I've just done my strides. So yeah, 30 seconds holding an acceleration. It's like an over exaggerated fast but relaxed, in control running effort. Done 6 of them, got a really good feel for the shoes, and yeah, haven't really changed my mind or thoughts on them. Some other points to think about are the upper. I can't get down too low because of that SI joint problem. Just realised. The upper is very light and it has a nice heel. So around the heel feels like a sock liner for about halfway, then it stiffens up a little bit. The inner sole is very nice. I'm not sure what Saucony call it, but it's like a springy one. It's not just, yeah, an afterthought, which a lot of these shoes are. Price point wise, we're now coming towards the end of November. These came out about 4 months ago and cost £200 UK money, and now it's around Black Friday sale time. I've seen them at around £120 mark, maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe a little bit more expensive. So yeah, for me in my training, I would only use them as a recovery shoe because they feel quite comfy, or easy mileage for an hour or so maybe. I don't think they're well suited to me personally as a shoe for what I want and enjoy, but that's not to say that they won't be the right shoe for you or other people, because I can totally see where Saucony are going with the shoe. I think it's for the masses. I think it's for the mid-pack marathon runner, and that's not doing anyone a disservice. It's just, if you want a shoe that is got quite a lot of tech around it, so allows you to run a little bit more maybe without discomfort. It is a carbon plated shoe, but it doesn't have that feeling, like I say, of getting onto an ice rink on your ice skates. Nice wide platform to have that shoe on. They're comfortable, like I'm walking in them now and they feel comfortable. So yeah, there's lots of good things about this shoe. I just don't think it's suited to me. And that pretty much wraps it up. Maybe not the most in-depth review for you, but I think it just gives you a bit of insight before people spend their hard-earned cash on these shoes. And yeah, it's just a perspective from me as a runner, a mountain runner coming down to the roads that's training for a marathon. I'm sure there's plenty of other reviews out there you can cross-reference that goes a bit deeper into the shoe.